Hey, what's up, everybody? Ralph here. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been trying to learn how to trade options. That's why if you look at my videos, I haven't posted like any videos for the past like 2 weeks because I've been like really grinding trying to learn how to do option trading. And I wanted to really put my focus on it. So it's hard to really like come up with content ideas and also like learn how to trade options at the same time because it's so much information that I want to learn. I was reading books, watching videos. Taking a little bit of courses. So I was trying to learn everything I can just to make sure I had a good grasp on trading options. Because like I said, it is a lot of information. If you've ever traded options or at least made the attempt to learn it, it's so much information. So for me, it was just like, all right, you know what? Let me just take 2 weeks off of just like creating content and like really try to learn it. Why am I learning how to trade options? Because if you looked at my other videos, I really focus on like if you're someone that's looking to invest in the stock market, I talk about how you should obviously just invest in the long term, right? Buy good stocks, invest in like ETFs because that's the easiest way to get in. Like if you're trying to invest in stocks or get into option trading, it's higher risk and you got to really know what you're doing. And for me, it's hard for me to like really talk about that since I had no experience with it, right? It's hard for me to be like, invest in stocks or invest in options when I really had no information. Like the easiest way for me, especially from my experience, was just investing in ETFs because that's the easiest way to get in for if you're someone that's a beginner. But for me, when I looked at it, I looked at it as an opportunity to like expand my opportunities when it comes to making money outside of investing in long-term stocks. I was like, all right, there's an opportunity to make money with stocks, whether it's through day trading or investing in stock options. So I was reading books and I came across this one book, right? Covered Calls, right? Covered Calls for Beginners, and it talks about how obviously you want to invest in stocks long term, but that's just one way to make money with stocks. There's another opportunity, and a lot of investors do is like Warren Buffett. What he does is like the stocks that he does own, he makes income off of that. So it's basically like having an asset and making money off that asset. And it's almost like, let's say you had a rental property, right? And you bought the rental property because you wanted it to appreciate in value over time. But that's just one way to make money, right? You can also fill it with tenants and make income that way. So it's the same thing with when it comes to stocks. That if you own a bunch of shares, there's a way for you to collect rental income. There's a way for you to collect income every month just by doing trading options with the stocks that you have. So I won't get into the details of it because it is a little complex, and I'm assuming that if you're someone that's watching this video, you have a level of understanding when it comes to trading options. But for me, it was like after I read that book, I was like, all right, there's another way to make money. So why not just learn how to do it outside of just holding a stock long term and waiting for it to appreciate and value over time? So I was like, why about not learn how to have the assets that you have and make income off that? So I was that was one reason. And also it was about creating content and be able to share with people that might be interested in trading options as well. So I wanted to make sure I take that 2 weeks to just learn and really understand and get the basics and at least try it for myself so I can then share it with those that are interested in learning trading options as well. So it was just 2 weeks of just reading books, grinding, educating myself, watching videos, and really trying to understand how to do that and experience myself doing trades myself. So some of the books that I read is obviously I showed you Covered Calls for Beginners. Covered Calls for Beginners is a good one if you want to learn how to make money with options using covered calls. Options trading, this is like a beginner's guide just to really like learn and understand about option trading. Day trading. Now this doesn't talk about option trading, but I read this book and it talks, because I wanted to understand the lingo, because when you're talking about the technicals, when you're dealing with technicals in terms of like trading, it's all about technical analysis. It's not really about the fundamentals when it comes to like investing in stocks. But this is like the same concept. Although it doesn't talk about options trading, when it comes to day trade, it's the same verbiage, it's the same concepts, like reading charts, understanding technicals, support and resistance, like so many different things that you can take from this and then really use it for your options trading. So this one was a big help, and it's like let me see, it's like 350 pages. And then this one, how to make money with stocks. Now this doesn't talk about stock options trading either, but it talks about how to make money with stocks long term. So this is something, this doesn't have anything to do with options trading, but still like understanding the verbiage, understanding the lingo, like really understanding when it comes to like stocks, because I'm really interested in stock market, how to make money with stocks outside of just holding it long term, like just understanding the whole aspect of looking into companies, investing in companies. So this one was like a really good one to understand. But when it comes to just stock trading, like these were the most important things. And of course I read books like Beginner's Guide to Stock Market, and then A Random Walk into A Random Walk Down Wall Street. These are like for long-term plays. But when it comes to like trading stocks, like this book was one of the most helpful ones. And you really have to really understand trading options to like really delve into it. So that was like the first thing and then I watched videos, right? I went online, watched videos. I was on websites, like really understand the technical analysis, like understand the verbiage, because that's the hardest part when it comes to trading options, is really understanding the words, like the lingo. Like I'm watching people on YouTube and they're talking about support, resistance, and they're saying things like I don't really understand. So it was important to read these books so you can at least understand the lingo, right? Understand what they're talking about, so you have an idea what they're saying or why they're saying it. And also trading simulations, like paper trading. That's something I also did. That was the most important thing, because when you're reading these books, for me, I'm a visual learner. So when I read these books, I have a grasp of it, but it's hard to really understand if you're not seeing it yourself. So I remember I joined a Discord and watched somebody's training on how to do it. That filled all the gaps that I read when I was reading these books, because there was like things still missing, but watching someone doing it, it filled some gaps. But even that's not enough, right? Once you've watched the videos, you've read the books, then you got to also do it, actually taking it, put into action. That's when you go into trade simulators and actually do trading yourself. So that's something I did. So what is my experience? Like, what is my experience when it comes to trading, right? So just keep in mind, like I haven't traded like real money. So I was doing a lot of paper trading, right? And like I said, I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks. I did it for like 2 weeks of paper trading, and the platform that I used was Webull. Right. So like I said, when I was watching someone's video in their Discord, Webull is one of the platforms that they use to like, look at the charts. And then obviously I think they was using that to trade options. So I was like, oh, Webull has charts. Webull has charts, and you can actually paper trade. So I signed up for Webull. And then I got an idea of like just how to use it. So for that first week, I was like learning how to use it. Let me give you like a little a view of like what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. This is the Webull platform. Once you sign up, then you get access to charts, and you can do option trading, and they have paper trading. So if you're someone that's interested in like doing paper trading, I would definitely sign up for Webull, and so you can just have a look at it, so you can play around with it and at least learn and develop the skills to like paper trading. It gives you access to money, like you can see right here. You got 5,000, but you can set it to, I think the most you can put is like 1 million. Like if you hit the reset button and you put it, 1 million is the most that you could that you can put on it. But I wouldn't do 1 million, because that's not realistic. Like you want to make sure if you're someone that's serious about trading options, you want to make sure you put a realistic number, and then trade like you're actually trading with your own money, because that's the hardest part when you're doing it paper trading. Is like being realistic and using and acting and applying your real life bets into the market. So you want to make sure you're realistic, but this is like a good platform. And let me move this over so you can at least see. All right, boom, there we go. Yeah, so that's just the charts. You can see these are the trade options, and then you can see the tickers, the companies on the side. So, and you can see that it gives you all this functionality, and this is just paper money. So this was like a great help for me, like in terms of like learning how to trade money. And I built a lot of experience. So I was doing that for like the first week I was just learning how to function, like just how to use the platform. And then the second week I was actually doing the trading. And it's funny too, because if you look at this platform, let me go back to it. The thing about Webull is that when I first was doing it, I wasn't using real-time quotes. I didn't know how important that was. I was like, obviously it's not real time. The quotes are not real time. Obviously the stock prices, but the trade option quotes weren't as real time. And then as I was reading this book, they trading for a living. a part comes up and he talks about how you can, do trading, option trading simulations. And he said a lot of these platforms they don't have real time quotes. He said, don't do that, right? You want the real time thing. So I was like, all right, so how do I get the real time thing? So I was researching, I went into it, and it shows there's like a button up here where it says real time quotes. When I first was doing it, it was just like it was in the shape of like a clock. And it says, in order to get the real time quotes, you have to subscribe. So I go in there, click on it, put the information, and when you put all your information in, they ask it's $2.99, $2.99 a month, so like $3 a month. I was like, all right, cool, because he talks about how you got to pay for it. So I said, all right, it's $3 a month. I'll use the real time quotes because obviously if I'm gonna be serious about trading, options trading, then I want to get the real time information. I want to give me the best opportunity to the most realistic way to options trading to train. So I paid for it, $2.99 a month, which is $3. That's not too much. So I did that. So and they gave me the real time quotes. And the thing, and what I noticed was that like before I did that, like the like putting in an order would take a little bit longer. It would take a little bit longer, and that's what was messing me up that first month when I was trying to put in orders and buy contracts. It would take a little while, and some wouldn't even go through. I was like, what the hell is going on? So it kind of messed up my learning. But once I did that, trades were going a little bit more faster. Like it would take maybe like 10 seconds for me to put in an order for a contract, and it would go through. So it felt much better. It was more flow, and I felt a little bit more comfortable doing it. So and it was a good experience too. Like the stock that I trade was SPY, right? I see a lot of people online, they trade SPY, which is, the S&P 500. And I didn't want to do like different stocks. I wanted to focus on one stock, which is something, I see a lot of people do online doing. They like to do options on SPY. So I wanted to make sure I focus on that and like focus on that chart, and really understand how that chart moves like over time. And you can see right here what the chart looks like. I want to really see how that movement. So I've been just using SPY for now, but I'll probably delve in once I get better and I gain more experience. I'll probably get into like other stocks, but right now I'm just focusing on SPY and really learning how that is. And so far it's not going bad. It's like I think the most important thing is really trying to focus on developing discipline, right? That's the most important thing, like discipline and being able to control your emotions, right? And it's a lot of work. It's like you're going through that. You're day trading 9:30. You got to be there and see how the market opens, and then you got to see how the flow works and how the stocks going up and down, and you got to make sure when to enter, when to exit, and you really when you're saying like, all right, you enter a trade, enter an option, and you're like, all right, it's going up. It's the hardest thing is like, all right, you want to take the profit now, or you want to wait and risk it going back down. So you got to really develop that discipline, like when knowing when to enter, knowing when to exit, knowing when to fold, right? If you're losing money, like you got to make sure you back out, even though probably 5 seconds later it's going to go back up and you're going to be in the green. So you have to really develop discipline and really control your emotions, because that's the hardest thing for a lot of people. And that's why so many people fail in trading options, because it's being able to be disciplined and controlling your emotions, because it is an emotional roller coaster, and you want to be able to, and that's why that simulation helps, because you get to test that. And for me, even though that paper trading is fake money, it really helps. Like I'm able to just be like, treat it as like real money, right? I'm in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to lose that money, even though still it's not real money. But for me, I'm able to like really like take that paper trading and paper money and like really treat it as if it was my own money. So it is something that you want to develop, and I think paper trading, and they talk about in this book, like you want to do it for like several months. I'm hoping I can cut that down a little bit more, but at the same time, I'll know when I'm ready. I was hoping to do like real life trading, like use real money this week, but I don't think I'm ready yet. So I'm hoping I'm gonna keep going and really test myself, see if I got better, and eventually I'll put the real money on the line. I'll do a video of that as well. But it was really interesting just seeing how going through that, going through the paper trading and seeing how I experienced that and seeing how much how I test my discipline level, test my emotions, how I react to certain situations, and going through that simulation really helps. So if would I recommend it? And obviously all of this is not financial advice, right? I'm not telling you this is what you should do, what you shouldn't do. But if you're someone that is interested in it and you haven't done before, like getting on an account on Webull and like practicing it is really important. Also reading, man. You gotta do a lot of reading. You can't just be going on there and just be like, I'm just gonna go in there and trade options or day trade and make some money. This thing takes a lot of work, takes a lot of discipline. You got to control your emotions, and it's really taking an understanding, really putting in the work. Because you gotta. I'm looking at charts at from 9:30 all the way to 3 o'clock, just so I can see how it works. Like what time of day is busier, like where there's more volume, and when it's more volatile. And you just got to really understand how the market works and what in the patterns, because it's just basically understanding patterns, right? You just got to understand when it's trending, looking at indicators, having a feel for that certain stock, what it's doing during the day, and setting certain rules. Like if X happens, then you got to do Y. Like you really got to be disciplined. Like some people just say, oh, if this happened, then they just throw the rules out the window and they lose money. So you got to stay disciplined in your rules. You got to stay disciplined in your emotions, and just stay disciplined overall. And if you're someone that's want to do it, like I said, like first thing is obviously educate yourself, man. You got to really understand the lingo, understand the verbiage, practice trading simulations so you have an idea, so you get used to the tools. Because it's a lot of work and it's not a game. Like I said, you can lose a lot of money. For a lot of people, it's gambling, right? But if you're someone that has a plan and you have certain rules, then you can definitely do well in it. Because like for these past 2 weeks, I've learned so much. And in my mind, I was like, I've always thought that options trading or day trading was like, oh man, that's impossible. They say it's like 5% of people are successful with it, but I can understand why, because a lot of it is discipline, right? If you read these books and you actually simulate, you do the trade simulations, you can definitely learn it, but it requires a lot of discipline, right? So that's my experience. So my goal is to obviously every day I'm gonna be doing this. I go in there, Monday through Friday, whenever the market's open, I'm in there in Webull doing the paper trading, and hopefully I'm hoping this week maybe I can get into throw the real money on the line. But I'll do videos of my experience showing what's going on and how I'm doing doing with the trading, and hopefully I can come up with some content and then share with you guys my experience with it. And if you're someone that's trying to learn, then hopefully you can learn through my experience. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you got any comments or questions, make sure to leave it down below with the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so you guys take care and have a good one. Later.